Alright guys, today we are headed out here on Emerald Coast once again to begin another exciting hunt on this early access, and first of all I wanna thank Expansive Worlds for giving us the chance to play this update a few days before its official release. Okay, on this occasion we'll be hunting the only species that I haven't hunted yet on this early access, which is the magpie goose. So I'ma place a few decoys here and hopefully we'll get some flocks to come in. You know, the magpie goose is one of the most unique species of the ones present on the Emerald Coast, and they actually only inhabit a few regions. You know, they seem to only land on these mangrove swamps, which are areas that are full of crocodiles. So far this is the only place where I have seen them, but I imagine that there's a chance they are also present on this river or maybe up here. I will definitely have to test a lot of setups to be able to figure out the locations where they can land, all the locations, but this time we're gonna focus on these mangrove swamps and we'll see if we can find some really big ganders, maybe a level 5, that would be amazing. Now the main issue while hunting these guys are definitely the crocodiles, because being both species part of the same home range, it's inevitable to avoid the crocs spooking the flocks when they are about to land. It is certainly really annoying because the crocs spook pretty much everything and these areas are just full of them. As you can see, these guys are already spooked, they are flying away. So what I think is a good way to counter this issue is to simply place a tent next to the decoys and go to the main menu, just to go back to a tent and respawn, taking advantage of the fact that crocodiles and pretty much all the animals won't spawn in a radius of 200 meters from the tent whenever you spawn on it. I mean, here I just came back from the main menu and as you can see the flock is completely calm, basically because the crocodiles that were close to the tent didn't spawn this time because I just spawned here. Of course this advantage won't last forever because more crocodiles are gonna start arriving to the area from outside the 200 meter radius and they are gonna start spooking the flocks. So we only have a couple minutes before the area gets flooded with crocodiles and we have to go to the menu again. And in that time the thing I wanna shoot is definitely that max estimate level 4. He's the first max estimate magpie goose I've ever seen and I imagine he could have a chance to be a diamond. And that's it, we got 2. Alright, let's take a look at what is the first magpie goose I have ever killed. So I cannot wait to know more about the various plumages these magpie geese may have, and of course I also wanna find a diamond, and maybe this one will be since it's a max estimate. Let's see. 3.6, he's a gold. And the diamond score is 3.85, so he's not that close. Still a very nice looking gander, he has the yellow plumage, which I imagine can be noticed by watching the beak or the legs, since those are the only yellow areas on this coast. And I'ma continue hunting this spot and we'll see if something even bigger comes in. Well, we have another 2 flocks coming in and apparently they are gonna land on the same position where the last flock landed. And even though there's nothing especially big on those 2 flocks, I still wanna shoot a few of them because I wanna see what other common plumages they have. You know, the first 2 were yellows, so I assume that there are more colors, maybe quite a few. So I'ma use the 12 gauge cacciatore here. Oh. What happened there? It kinda froze in the air when I hit him. Now let's see what plumages we have here. None of these guys is big, but what we wanted to see are the colors on which these magpie goose come. And as you can see, the first one is an orange, which is very similar to a yellow, but is slightly more dark. Now we also got a maroon, which I guess is another common plumage, not too different from the other 2, this one is just a little bit darker. And the other 2 we drop right here also look quite similar. This one is also a maroon, and I assume that this other female is a maroon as well. Definitely very common. Alright guys, now we're on a different setup that I placed right here, and I just spotted another flock coming in where there's a max estimate level 4, a second max estimate. Maybe the first one was not that big, but there's a chance this one is significantly bigger, we'll see. Now one thing I've noticed about the magpie goose is that for some reason they sound exactly as the Canada goose, which doesn't really make sense because I imagine that they sound way different in real life. And it's really surprising because I have also noticed that the sounds for some of the new species were directly imported from the Hunter Classic, like in the case of the sambar deer and the rusa deer, so it's really surprising that the magpie goose didn't receive the same treatment as they are also present on that game, so I imagine it would have been possible to also import the sounds as they did with the sambar and the rusa, but I guess there was a good reason to not do so, because it's really weird that they decided to recycle the sounds of the Canada goose having that option. Let's see a score of this guy. 3.58. He is unfortunately a bit smaller than the last one and really far from diamond. Let's continue. No way that guy is not a max estimate. Like, he has the biggest top estimate I've ever seen, up to 145. And his weight range is not even the highest. You know, that is really interesting because the diamond score is 137, so the odds of this guy being a diamond are really high. We know the level 4s can make it because we got one the other day, but this one is not even a max estimate, so that would be something unheard of. I mean, I don't think there's any other species in the game that can score this high without being max weight range. Now the thing is that at the moment we're not carrying the 470, which is the weapon that I would normally use to drop this guy. We're still carrying the 7mm, which also covers class 9, but of course it has nowhere near the same penetration as the 470, so we'll have to settle with only a single long. We gotta make sure the shot placement is perfect right behind the shoulder, because I believe that if we hit the scapula it won't have the penetration to go through. And that should be a single long. We'll pay attention to the health. And it was in fact a single long, the health is going down. Now a second shot certainly wouldn't hurt. And we got him good. He is down. Alright, let's see if it is in fact a non-max estimate diamond, which again, as I said, would be something completely unheard of. 134.33, he's massive, but it wasn't big enough. So a very nice trophy. Actually I believe this is the first Mocamel I've ever killed. He looks very nice, although I believe he's just a common. Not too bad. Now let's continue and let's try to find some actual diamonds. 9 legendary saltwater crocodile. No way. 950 to 1120 estimate is hard to know if it will be diamond. You know, the entire coast is great, but this part in particular is just amazing to find zones on my map. As you can see, I've got many zones here, and actually the other day I got a diamond on this location, which is on another video, so the whole coast is essentially a giant hotspot, and it's actually really easy to spot the crocs here because they tend to rest right in the shore where it is completely open. So anyway, I'ma shoot at level 6 before we go for the legendary. I'ma go for the neck. And he's down. You know, the next shot is by far the best shot you can take on a gator or a crocodile because it is really easy to hit and is actually really effective since a single shot to a neck is an instantaneous death. So it's certainly the best shot we can take on the legendary, although since I'm also carrying a bow, we also have the option to bow hunt our first diamond potential on Emerald Coast. Oh. Well, I guess we'll get a little warm up here with the bow. It's been a long time since the last time I used this package, and this thing is just completely lethal at short range. We actually hit the spine on this one in a double long, so now let's go for the level 9. I cannot wait to see if it will be our second diamond crocodile. Okay, we are very close already, and he's alert. About 30 meters out. So let's try to hit a barrel here. He is quartering away now. We are gonna go for a double long as soon as he turns broadside. Let's see. And that should be a barrel. He's dead. Now let's see if it is in fact our second diamond crocodile on Emerald Coast. Sadly we won't be able to keep it because this is the early access version and the progress we make on this build won't be transferred towards the main build. Oh, he's a troll. 1009. I was really excited to get another diamond crocodile, but instead we ended up getting our third troll on Emerald Coast. Okay guys, now we're in what I think will be one of the most neglected locations once the map comes out, because it is a lake that is really far from any outposts, this one right here, and it is actually a nice location to hunt hog deer at their drink time, which is from 13 to 1700. It is simply a nice place to find them at that time, and actually, I just spotted something very cool. A level 3 Piebald hog deer. A rare hog deer was one of the things I really wanted to find on this early access, so this is just amazing. I have no idea of exactly how rare these are, but I imagine they are similar to the rarity of any other piebald, maybe not as rare as the albinos and the melanistics in case this species also has them, but a piebald is a piebald and is a rare. So I'ma drop them using the hackage. Less than 40 meters out. Already within the ideal range to use this bow, so let's go for it. Okay, he's alert. And I assumed that was a single long because he's going down but he didn't die on the spot. Undoubtedly a very nice looking rare, the pattern is amazing, and honestly what makes it look even better is the quality of the fur. You know, the work Expansive Worlds has done creating all these new models is just impressive. They are by far the best models in the game, so this map is definitely gonna be one of the best ones, if not the best. And this guy is a 76.69 silver, look at this beauty. I imagine this is only one of multiple Piebald variants that there are for this hog deer, because recently they've been adding multiple variations for each of the rare fur types for all the new species, as we saw with the sambar deer and the rusa deer on the latest Expansive World stream, and as we saw with many of the species on Rebondoli Coast.